Hey folks, welcome back to my channel, Relationship Haven. In today's story, OP found out his girlfriend cheated on him with a coworker, then ran off with her affair partner. Now, recently, OP's father passed away from cancer, and his cheating girlfriend has the nerve to want to show up at his dad's funeral with her affair partner. OP then exposed her motive to people around them, friends and family, as well as the internet, and now her reputation has been completely destroyed. Let's get into today's story to find out what happened. A little background. I met her 5 years ago. We have been together for the last 3 of those years. The first 2 were spent just casually dating. I love this girl. We did have arguments a little more frequently lately, but that's because of my insecurities lately. See, about a year ago, I was going through a death in the family, and I wasn't able to be there for her. We decided to take a break for a few weeks, a mutual decision, and for me to get my head on straight. We talked often during these weeks, nothing deep, as we wanted to give each other space. Weeks after we got back together, I found out she started flirting with a coworker. They went out a couple of times. She went down on him, too. She also showed me the texts. We worked through it, but I've always felt insecure as they see each other every day. A few days ago, we had a fight. We had made plans and she canceled the day of. She has a habit of doing so last minute, and it annoys me, but whatever. So later, we talked and I asked how her day was, etc. She sent me a few pictures and I see a restaurant in the background. When we met later, I asked her about who she was with, and she didn't exactly answer, but after taking it upon myself to look through her texts, I saw a conversation with the same coworker talking about having lunch together at a very unique type of restaurant, the same type that was in the background. I was so mad. I asked if it was him, and she repeatedly said no. I left and went home. I woke up and saw I was blocked everywhere. I decided not to bother her as we both needed time to calm down. Today, I decided to look at her Facebook page through someone else's account. It said she's in a relationship. The co-worker's account said the same. For context, when we were together, she never once put in a relationship, but I didn't care. It's only Facebook. Suddenly, her and the co-worker who showed single are now both in a relationship. I've messaged her friends and everyone she knows, but no one is responding. What do? I can't work, I can't eat or sleep. If she broke up with me, I'd be okay, but she chose to do it in such a way. I need answers. I need someone to tell me what's going on. I feel like I'm starting to come off as a crazy person, but what am I supposed to do? Update. It's been over a week since I found out my ex-girlfriend and best friend of 5 years had been having a long-term affair with her coworker. She ghosted me when I found out. First things first, you people saved my life. I admit I was having very dark thoughts during those first few days, and the words and sentiments of you folks helped me trudge along. I finally told my family and friends. Some of them already knew, as our friend group was sort of blended after 5 years. To say my mother was hurt was an understatement. She loved my ex and thought I would marry her. I had taken your advice and just went completely silent. I purged my house of everything that reminded me of her, everything she got me or left here, packed it in boxes, and asked one of my friends to deliver it to one of hers. I wanted to be proactive. When my friend got back, he told her friend an earful about how I had been treated. I didn't ask him to. Apparently, she was apologetic. She supposedly didn't know my ex cheated. Yeah, right. I think she just doesn't want to look bad now that it's coming out the ex is a cheater. No way she didn't know. But whatever. Yesterday, a blank random Facebook account messaged me. It was my ex. Here's what she said. Hi, I got the stuff from Talia. I get you're probably mad at me. I get that I messed up by not breaking up sooner before things happened, but I think it's really cruel of you to tell people our business and even return things I got you as gifts. They were meant for you. There is no reason to be so ugly about everything. This is exactly why I did not say anything. I really think me just disappearing will help you move on faster. There's no reason for it. One day, I hoped we could both look back on our relationship fondly as something that helped us become better people. I hope you can reach that point in yourself. I ignored the message and then blocked her. I've got my appetite back. I still have moments where I just can't help but break down, but but I feel anger more than anything else. I'm burying myself in work, and most of my interactions with people involve a good deal of faking it. But I'll get there someday. What worries me is my anger. Here's another update. A few days ago, my dad passed away. Somehow, my ex found out. On social media, I have received such an outpouring of support from my friends, and some of them are friends with her friends. My friends already know not to talk to me about her or share anything about me with her or her friends. My mother is broken. My ex, who has been blocked by my mother and family, decided to text my mother her condolences. She went so far as to imply that being the caring person she is, she'd like to offer my mother her support and attend the funeral. Guess who with? If you guess the affair partner, then you're right. Why? Because he will support her while she's supporting my mother. This sucks because my mom loved her and they were close until she cheated. My mom didn't even bother responding. She just told me what happened, told me she doesn't want her there or to reach out again, and will leave it to me to handle it because she doesn't want unnecessary drama after all this. Now I have no choice but to confront her. I also know confronting her is giving her exactly what she wants. She'll be able to say, I'm the one reaching out to her. What should I do? What should I say? I have not dealt with it yet, but I plan to. Here's yet another update. First of all, thank you all so much for your condolences. I'd have loved to answer each one of you individually. Thank you all from the bottom of my and the family's hearts. I took all your advice into consideration. At the end of the day, regardless of the harsh way I personally want to put my ex in her place, I think I see things my mother's way. I don't want any sort of conflict or ill will or cruel words spoken about the circumstances in which I'm putting Dad to rest. I just want peace until after the funeral. I decided I'll not respond to her in any way. I've also spoken to my family through the group to tell them about what happened. Understandably, many were angry and wanted to rip her a new one. I pleaded with them to restrain themselves and that we needed to stand in solidarity and agree we all will meet her attempts with complete silence. I got all of them to agree that if she reaches out to them, we'll just ignore and block as many times as necessary. We won't even acknowledge she exists. Everyone's so protective of me now, so there's a new unity to the family that's really humbling. I'll speak to the funeral personnel about the ex to make sure in case she does show up, she'll be turned away. I'll go to the police station tomorrow to at least inform them, just in case. Maybe they can advise me as well. If a restraining order is my only recourse, I'll take steps in that direction. Lastly, when I told my friends about it, they weren't surprised. Turns out my ex is posting about being devastated by the loss of my dad and is soaking up the pity like a leech. My friends had already agreed amongst themselves to keep this under wraps to not stress me out. They volunteered to be spokesmen and spread the word to literally everyone that she isn't welcome and that we'll have security to keep her out if need be. They'll also run interference for me the whole day. I was really touched. Right now, my priority is making sure my mom isn't affected by anything else. I'm staying with her until the funeral. She's a really religious woman, so she doesn't want to be too harsh with the ex and says she's forgiven her, or is trying to, so the best she can do is continue to just ignore her. I'll update after the burial. Here's my final update. My dad's funeral service was beautiful. One of his close friends asked if he could put up the time and location on his social media so my dad's friends out of state could see and attend, and they did. Fortunately, I did not hear a peep from my ex in the days leading up to it, and I didn't care to. Her parents did attend, though. They didn't stay long, and they mostly spoke with my mom, but I hovered around her the whole day just in case. Not a word was mentioned about my ex. They were cordial with me, and I didn't get the sense they were unhappy with me, but they had the tact not to talk about anything else. It was sweet, honestly. In the last few days, I've gotten a few friend requests from people in my ex's camp, but I ignored it. Yesterday, my friend, same guy I asked to return her stuff, showed me a message from Talia that is basically spewing hate my way. Talia, her friend, said that I'm immature, pathetic, and trying to make my ex's life miserable. I asked them to extract what this was all about, and she sent me a screenshot of a YouTube video shared by one of our friends to her. It didn't take long for it to reach my ex, and wow, Out of curiosity, I decided to accept one or two of the friend requests, and this is what happened. I've gotten pages of my ex calling me abusive for not having the courage to face the woman I'm besmirching, but dragging her name through incel echo chambers, and that I not only denied her the opportunity to say bye to my dad, but talked openly enough about her private business that it's trickling into her workmates' conversation. She then said that, as if that isn't bad enough, I'm psychologically attacking her by encouraging strangers on the internet to bash her. Her accusations honestly got under my skin, and I responded only to ask what about the post wasn't true. I tried to explain that I first made the post in a moment of immense emotional upheaval and panic, and I just needed advice from people who suffered through the same, and that I did not reveal anything to expose her or myself to strangers, but she was adamant. I was told my ex apparently cried when she heard some of the comments and said that her new boyfriend wants to settle things with me. He wants me to reach out to my ex and apologize to her. I'm tired, honestly. I don't care about talking to her, and I honestly don't think I have to justify making an anonymous post on Reddit to sort through what was a difficult time for me. What struck me most is that the cousin, who I honestly feel was in contact with the ex while talking to me, was more offended at what commenters said than what I did. She couldn't pick out a single thing I lied about. Not one. Thank you all for the support you have given me. These last few months, this community has been among my most resolute supporters, giving me strength with your own stories of betrayal and perseverance. Even some of the harsher advice was incredibly useful to me. I truly believe if I had every last one of you in my ear a year ago, I'd have been spared so much pain that I now believe in part was self-inflicted. You're the best. Wow, OP, the entitlement that your ex has is unbelievable. The fact that she felt the need to show up at your dad's funeral means that she must be a full-blown narcissist. If I were you, I would continue to ignore her and try your best to move on from this situation. If anything, consider the fact that she found out her story was exposed on the internet as a good thing. Hopefully it can help her narcissistic mind realize the disaster she has created and will for once feel an ounce of remorse. I wish you all the best, OP. Thanks for taking the time to listen to today's story. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already done so, and comment below on what your thoughts are on today's story. If there's a story you would like to share with me about your own situation or someone else's, then please do not hesitate to contact me. Take care, everyone.